Okay, we're live. Hey buddy, how are you? Yeah, I did see that. I saw the is it still active? Anyways, good to see you, buddy. Um we're live. It's 12:47 a.m. Early Sunday morning. I believe today's the 8th. Um I could be wrong. Uh yeah, no, today's the 8th, Sunday the 8th of September. Um I'm going to try to uh stay out here as long as I possibly can. It's not freezing out, but it just rained and kind of got that brisk air to it, but we're doing all right. Good to see you all. I'll play an intro. Hey, Southern Gal, how are you? Good to see you. I was just over there. She had a tremendous live tonight with the Honorable Mr. Steve. He was on there. Mr. Steve is just fantastic. Can't say enough about him. I guess he's going on the road. Hey, Heather, how are you? Good to see you. Heather's here. Paula's here. Hi, Paula. How are you? Good to see you. If it's your first time, thank you for coming in. And if you want a wrench, let me know. That way you can post channels in here and all of that happy horseshit. But let me play an intro and then I'll be right back. I'm Dave, by the way. I'm that owl guy. Not to be confused with the National Treasure, right? All right, let me play an intro and I'll be right back. Gonna try to go over a couple of different cold cases tonight and then the true crimes of the week and then whatever else comes our way. So I'll be right back. Thank you. Good to see everybody. I'm going to do this one, I think. Not sure here. Let's do this one right here. Be right back. I'm not even going to try to sing that. The Love Boat. Hey, Vidinquiz, how are you? Good to see you. I did a live yesterday morning on the tropics, and I had a few people in there, and I kind of mentioned that I don't go out anymore a lot. I used to go to concerts all the time. I used to be in a band. I used to be around a lot of people all the time. But these days here in my old age, I just can't stand being around a lot of people. Vid Inquiry said the same thing. Not that I don't like people. I don't know. I'm pretty much a hermit these days. It is what it is. Good to see everybody though. It's been kind of a week, kind of a weird, another weird true crime week. Got a lot going on. But I'm going to try to go over a couple of cold cases tonight. Just skimmed through them. I did one of them already. I did the Kimberly Moreau one already. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Good to see you, Jenny. Just a quick thing about me. Southern Gal knows this. I like to throw wrenches around in here because there's a lot of great channels out there, and I particularly don't have any problem with people posting their channels in here or anybody that they know that has a good channel, because some of these cases that we go over don't get a lot of attention. And, if you have great channels that you want to post in here, go right ahead. And the only way to do that is with a wrench. So if anybody doesn't have a wrench and wants a wrench, let me know. You don't have to have a wrench, obviously, but all right. So we everyone duck. She's so funny. All right, so we're going to go over the Kimberly Moreau case first. I'm going to just kind of read through it. I've done, I don't know, 3, 4 different lives on the Kimberly Moreau case. Our good friend Cold Truth kind of put me onto this case here. And I was watching a live the other day. I think it was, I forget who it was, but the whole family was on there. And just every time I see them, it's just, it weighs on your heartstrings for sure. So I figured I'd go over this tonight a little bit, just at least read it. Great family up there in Maine. And I know a lot of people have done a lot of good work on this, but it's still unsolved. So let's hold on. Let me share this here. Yeah, hopefully we don't have any issues tonight with the internet. But let's get into this. Let me. All right, so this is the case of Kimberly Moreau. Morrow, I think I'm saying it wrong. But like I said, I've done a few lives on this this person here. I've had Mayo Monkey on before. He's kind of he's from that area, and he filled me in a little bit more on some of the workings that go around. So, anyways, this was done May. So I don't know when this was done. So, anyways, a 17-year-old from Jay, Maine was last seen at her home before midnight on May 9th, 1986, according to Maine State Police. I think that's her father right there, but I'll play this shortly. This is just a tough case here. So communities in central and western Maine still hold out hope for answers for the 38-year-old case for the 17-year-old missing from Jay, Maine. Maine State Police said Kimberly Moreau was last seen in Jay at about midnight on May 9th, 1986. So she was in the company of someone she met earlier that day. She had not been seen since. Moreau's family said she canceled plans to attend her junior prom on the night of May 10th after an argument with her boyfriend. So the boyfriend's going to come up a lot here. Moreau's family said she told her sister she was going out with her friends and would return to their family residence in Jay at about an hour after 11 p.m. that evening. They said someone later saw her getting into a late model white Monte Carlo or Trans Am, and I haven't been able to narrow down what kind of a car it actually was, but I think most people think it was a Trans Am. And she was with a friend and a 25-year-old guy. Her family said Kim's friend was familiar with the guy. This guy here is going to come up a lot. He's been a suspect. They said she did not bring her purse, makeup, or any of her personal belongings with her when she left. Her friend said she and the man dropped Moreau off approximately 3:45 in the morning. The following morning, the friend told authorities that Moreau asked them to let her out of the car on Jewel Street. And I've gone over this street many, many times, the street that she got dropped off at. Moreau's father, Richard, is attempting to gather leads, clues, and tips through a new post office box in Jay. And he said the box is a place for people to send tips anonymously. And then he has no interest in prosecuting the people responsible for his daughter's appearance, nor learning the details he just wants her home. He just wants her regardless home. So let me play this here if I can. There might be a commercial here. Hold on a second.
Hi, Sue from Granite State Cabinetry. I'm excited to introduce our master class upcoming on Thursday, September 12th at 6 o'clock.
38 years ago today, a teen girl from Jay went missing. Kimberly Moreau has never been seen again, and state police say her disappearance is considered suspicious.
Her father has spent decades tracking down tips, clues, and leads, and he says he feels this is the closest he has ever been to finding out the truth.
It's her mother, her grandmother, her grandfather, and her aunt.
Everyone knows where Kimberly Moreau's story ends.
Dandy's in here. Hey, Dandy, how are you? Good to see you. Yes, I am a Bama fan for sure. If Dandy's in here, hello, Dandy. How are you? Good to see everybody. There she is. There's Dandy. Good to see you, Dandy. Yeah, I don't live in Alabama though. I don't know why I like Alabama. I've just been watching them for forever. But I'm the biggest critic of my own team. So, all right. So here we go.
Only one person can answer how and when, and they're not telling.
I need your help.
Every time I hear this guy, I just, it makes me want to do something. Hey, Miracle Hearts, how are you? Good to see you. Just going over a couple of cold cases. We're going to go over the true crimes of the week. But I just figured I'd do respect for this family. I just feel so bad for this family. The father and the two daughters. This guy just wants answers, and every time I see this guy, every time I hear this guy, I just feel like I got to do something.
That's the only thing that's going to get her home.
Home, the last place she was seen alive. 17-year-old Kim Moreau went out with friends the night of May 9th, 1986. She told her sister she'd be back in an hour. 1 hour turned into 38 years.
Don't make us go another year. It's incredible how long this has been.
Almost half of her father's life.
And I can accept that she's gone, but I can't accept she isn't here.
At 82 years old, Richard Moreau knows his chapter
We'll keep trying until we get her here.
is coming to a close.
There's my baby right here. This is where she's gonna be. I want to just bring her home.
It just, I don't know, man. For some reason, this case here, I'm gonna probably go up there at some point and try to look around. It's in the middle. J Maine. If people haven't been to Maine, that part of Maine, it's basically in the middle of nowhere. But it's a beautiful part of the country. That part of Maine is, and this poor guy. It's sad. It sucks.
I've tried now for 38 years just to do that one thing. And I've been doing this here for, God, more years than I care to remember.
Decades of searching and pleading.
Try to put yourself where we are. This is your child. I'm the guy that's got the information that could bring her home. And I'm not giving it to you. How would you feel?
He wants the specifics on where she is, but not how she got there. Richard says he has no interest in prosecuting the people responsible, which is why he set up this.
That mailbox. Let's see what we got.
A P.O. box at the post office in Jay, so that anyone, anywhere, can give them the missing piece completely anonymously.
This is a...
Thank you, Southern Gal. Yeah, it's a touching story. I forget where they were. I saw them last week. Again, they were on they've done thousands of interviews. They're very good with accepting to do interviews, even though it's been 38 it's been longer than that, I think now. Almost 40 years, I think. It just sucks. This stuff isn't easy to do. This stuff here sucks sometimes, and my heart goes out to this whole family here.
Closest we have probably ever been to finding her and bringing her home. Without you, this will never end. Please give me that
It's just sucks.
piece of information. I don't know what else to ask. I don't know how to beg you. All I know is I've got to get her home.
State police tell us this is an active investigation. In a few years,
Yeah, bullshit.
ago when we did the story on the 35th anniversary, they told us they are focusing on a small group of persons of interest. There is a $10,000 reward for anyone that gives the information that leads to Kim's remains. Richard had one more thing that he wanted us to share with all of you. This is a picture of Kim that moves thanks to artificial intelligence. And Richard told me that this is
Isn't that cool?
the closest he will ever get to seeing his daughter alive again.
All right, so let me finish reading this a little bit here.
Save more, smile more.
Oh,
Enjoy exclusive discounts and benefits during our happiness sale. Book now at
all right, shut up. All right. There's one thing I want to get to with this here. Okay, so Detective Mike Chavez, who is assigned to the case, told News Center that the Murrow's family proactive approaches gathering tips is admirable and helpful. There's that $10,000 reward. I think that's actually gone up a little bit since then. They do have a Facebook page. I'm part of this Facebook page. I'll try to see if I can copy that and put it in a chat. And that's it. I'm going to try to play one more thing from this here, and then we'll move on to something else. But I just wanted to go over this. It just breaks my heart. This case here is crazy. So let me see if I can hold on a second. Like I said, I've done at least 3 lives on her. Okay, so I want to play, on a second here. I'm going to play that one there. We'll play this one here. All right, so let me share this here. Hold on a second. It's good to see everybody in here. If somebody came in and I was backstage, sorry. Yeah, I've reached out thousands of times to them. I don't like to bother people. It's just it's one of those cases that really bothers me. All right, so let me share this here. They did such a terrible job early on in the investigation. Hey, Astro from space, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. Let me share this. Hold on a second. I got way too many windows open here. So this is the 35th year anniversary. Probably not going to play all of this, but I'll play most of it. So let's play this here. That's the one that I wanted, but I'll play some of this here.
Doing some painting. Just as soon as I have enough time.
Right? Whenever you get
or,
there. Yeah.
Or I get enough ambition, I should say. That's the biggest thing. I'm going to be honest with you. There's no question about it. That's one of the big things. So,
Richard, we're coming up on 35 years on Monday. How are you feeling?
well, I'm just feeling that it's been a very, very exhausting and tiring time. It's been very traumatic for my family, definitely. I mean, we've looked for the past 35 years, we have searched for Kim and trying to find her and bring her home. I keep telling everybody that there's only one thing that matters to me, and that's bringing her home, nothing else. Just bring her home, let me get a burial, and then let me go take down all the posters. Anybody deserves that. We are now offering a $5,000 reward for anybody that gives us information.
I gave you a wrench, Miracle Hearts. Just let you know. Thank you, Astro from space. That's awesome. Yeah, Southern Gal is just throwing people my way. She's awesome. Thank you, Southern Gal, very much.
That leads to actually finding Kim. We want to get
Like I said, if anybody's got channels, I know there's some really, really great people out there. Southern Gal, Mind of Monsters is fantastic. Truth and Transparency, Truth and Justice. I mean, there's just so many really great channels. If you've got channels that you want to share, go ahead and do it. Good to see everybody, though.
get her home, and that's our number one priority. Anything else from that point? And remembering, if this was an accidental death, time has elapsed. There's nothing can be done. Just give me my daughter and let me get her home. That's all we're looking to do. I don't want to make it 36 years. I have 2 other daughters. They've spent all of their lives basically searching for their sister. It isn't fair to them either. And it's changed us in the fact that we've had to devote a lot of time to doing what we're doing. And one of the things I definitely want to do.
I think the mom died shortly after that. I think I'm not sure. Pretty sure though. That's the thing with these cases. Sometimes you forget things, but I'm pretty sure the mom died shortly after from some sort of illness.
Do is thank all the media for everything that they have done to help us progress. Because we keep searching and we keep keep getting clues, and we want to keep it going. But we know there are people that definitely knows where Kim is. There is no reason not to come forward. Give us the information. Be very precise. Tell it. You can do it any number of ways. I mean, use your imagination. If nothing else, I can tell you how to do it, but just go about and get me the information so I have my daughter home. Think of it as this is your child, and she's there, and she's been missing for 35 years. So that's what's going on with us right now. We have some searches coming up this summer. There's no question. We've just gone through another meeting with state police. That continues on. And we're getting, everybody's getting better. We are, state police are, everybody.
So let me, I want to give me a second. I want to do this first. Here we go with the maps again. So here's J Main. Livermore Falls is here. This is the Androscoggin River here. This is a pretty good sized river, and this kind of runs through. It's an old mill town, paper mill town. So to give you some context of where we are here, this is 95. So this there's Augusta right there. It's basically smack dab in the middle of the state here. And the further west you go in Maine, the less people you get. Obviously, everybody lives on the coast here. But I've been, I've dissected this tremendously in some other videos. But there's this river here, and they never searched this river for her. So I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. But this is the first place I would have looked, is this river here, because this river, if you're gonna get rid of a body, this is the place to do it. So anyways, I just wanted to give people a idea of where we are. This is the main street here, but she could be anywhere, literally. Let's take a look at the town. No, I was going to take a look at the town, but I guess not. Nope. Okay. So let's get back to this here. Beautiful part of the country. Maine is fantastic. All right. giving out tips. Let me get back to this here.
Everybody's getting better.
For all those who are subbing, thank you so much. Didn't have to. I like the fact that people sub and stuff like that, but you know, the only reason why I'm here and the only reason why Southern Gal and all these other people are here is to get some information on these cases out there. It's nothing to do with me, that's for sure. It's you know, trying to get these people something, you know, whether it's keeping an awareness on some of these cases or you know, just doing everything I possibly can do. That's the only reason why I'm here, because this true crime stuff, it's depressing sometimes. It's just absolutely depressing.
Getting information and handling it. So we need to continue and just get me the information. You can call me. You can go on Facebook and put it on Tim's page.
I would literally give up almost everything I have just to give, you know, some of these people some closure or something, you know, to I mean, these poor families, they need some help.
You can get in contact with state police. There are a number of ways. You got Carly Lowe is doing a story down east. She's doing a story for us now, a podcast. Get in touch with Carly. You don't need to talk with the family directly. Just whoever does it, be very precise what information you give.
What would it mean to you and your family to get the piece of information that brings him home?
It would be so tremendous.
My personal opinion in this case here is whoever did this is left the area pretty quickly. That's just my opinion, and I don't think it's anybody they think it is. It never is. Usually, it's it's usually some animal that just nobody knew about. And usually, it's because they didn't investigate it right from the beginning, and the further you go down the road, the longer it's going to take to solve it. So if I was them, I'd try to go over some of the investigatory stuff in the beginning, and but it's usually never who they think it is.
That it's like we're carrying a ton on our shoulders to do this. It's very emotional and very disheartening at times when you sit down. I mean, I go down and sit with my other daughters, and I think of Kim, because the similarities and everything especially now that we get that age progression, and I see the similarities between all the girls. It's very, very hard. So we need to bring Kim home this year. There's no question. This year's got to be the year that we bring her home. 35 years. I know whoever's carrying this information around, they've got to have had a heck of a hard life, because I wouldn't trade my life for yours no matter what, even with all the heartaches we've had. So just please give.
Yeah, it could be something like that. It could be something like, you know, an in-law or something, or somebody that you know, people just wouldn't even think would be capable of doing something like this. Usually that's I think one of the reasons why this case has gone on so long is because of the you know, the basically baby steps they took in the initial investigation. They didn't do anything, literally, and I'm pretty sure they lost a lot of. I don't think they investigated the car for like a few months. So that she was dropped off in. So it's just the investigation in the beginning was subpar.
Me, Kim, make sure that we get that information.
But you notice he's not blaming anybody. He's not. Good for him. It's not gonna help anybody blaming people. It's just not.
Someone. It'll be handled. It'll be taken care of. And like I said, if it's an accidental death, you have a time limitation. That's already gone. So please give us Kim.
Where are you mentally with this? I mean, are you still sad? Are you angry?
Oh, no, I'm still very sad about it because we got cheated out of an awful lot of
It wouldn't be a chat without Heather and Dean. I'm telling you, those two guys. You guys are awesome.
things in our lives. As a father, I never got to walk down the aisle with her. I never got to see her work out and get her dreams. And I never got my dreams. So, yeah, the whole family's sad about that. And that never changes. I don't care how many years it is, that pain is always there. The loss of your child. It's there. It hurts. You may be having a fantastic day and see something that triggers it, and all of a sudden, your fantastic day goes out the window.
That just freaking sucks. It's just, I don't know, getting emotional here. All right, so I'm going to play this here. This was done 3 months ago. Let's play this, and then I'll move on to something else here. This was 3 months ago, so this is the latest here. I think this is it here. Hold on a second. All right, so this, we really want to bring her home. Maine State Police continue to search for Kimberly Moreau. 38 years, so it's been 38 plus years here. Oops, let me share this. Hold on a second. Sorry. Might help if I share it.
We really want to bring her home.
Detective Corporal Michael Chavez is one of the many investigators who have tried or are still trying to find Kimberly Moreau.
This case has never been closed. It's unsolved.
The teenager was last seen on May 10th, 1986 in Jay. Police have said an acquaintance, Brian Enman, is the last person to see her alive. Is he still a suspect or a person of interest?
I can't comment on anything that relates to suspects or evidence, but the public knows that he's been talked to.
This is the third guy that I know of that's been investigator that's been on this case. So it hasn't been going well.
Unable to reach Enman for comment today, but he's publicly denied any involvement. Authorities have scoured many properties over time, though investigators couldn't say more beyond those that have been made public.
The state police has done a lot of searches over the past number of years to just try and follow up on anything that's come in for information.
Rhonda Breton, a friend who was with Kim around her disappearance, died in
So she was supposed to go to a prom with her boyfriend, junior prom, and she opted out of going to that prom and then went to a I think it was like kind of like an after party. Those were pretty popular back in the 80s. And she was dropped off supposedly, and she was never seen again after that. So something happened between the party and being dropped off at home. And I'm a little suspicious of being dropped off at home because, that's just the people that supposedly dropped her off. So there's that.
2009. She's someone he would have liked to talk to again.
It makes things difficult, but certainly not impossible.
And as time goes on, more people could pass away and memories fade. Does that put pressure on you to act to make an arrest or something of that nature?
Absolutely. The bigger pressure for me on a personal level is the family.
I think we've exhausted almost everything there is, but we're still trying.
Morrow's dad recently opened a P.O. box in the hopes of getting more leads.
What's going on here?
All we're interested in is getting Kim home. I ain't interested in prosecuting nobody.
I'm interested in justice.
At this point, do you think that this case can still be solved?
I think so.
He says it's time for those involved to speak up.
There are people out there in this community that know what happened to Kim. We need them to come forward.
Mel Meyer, CBS 13 News.
So you could probably, chalk it up to maybe they kind of have an idea who did this, but don't have enough evidence. But I don't even think they have that. So, all right. So let's get out of this here. We'll move on to something else here. One more cold case thing I want to go over really quick. This is the story of Lorraine Rohn. I think I'm saying that right. This is right here in New Hampshire. So let me share this here. Hope I'm not boring everybody here. So this is the disappearance of Lorraine Ron. I think that's her name. But she was born 1966. She disappeared April 26th, April 27th, 1980. Right down here in Manchester, New Hampshire. She's been missing for about 44 years, 5'4", pretty tiny. So she is an American teenager who vanished under mysterious circumstances from her home in Manchester, New Hampshire. I think right down on Merrimack Street. On the night of her disappearance, let's see here. Ron was accompanied by a male and a female friend at the apartment she shared. So she was there with a male and a female friend she shared with her mother. Judith was out on a date with a boyfriend. So they were all kind of hanging out at the house. At some point during the evening, Ron's male friend left the apartment after hearing voices in the hallway. Okay. Assuming Ron's mother was returning home. So he thought the mother was coming home, so he booked it out of there. I don't know if that's true or not. Her female friend remained at the apartment. Upon Judith's arrival home after midnight, she found that all of the light bulbs in the apartment's building's hallway had been unscrewed, leaving the halls completely dark. That's odd. In the apartment, Judith saw a figure sleeping in her daughter's bed and assumed it was her daughter. However, she then discovered it was in fact Ron's female friend who had slept in the bed. So she went to check on her daughter, thought it was her daughter sleeping in the bed, and it wasn't. It was this female friend who was sleeping in there. Her friend claimed to have seen Ron going to sleep on the couch. I think there's something going on here between this male and female friend here. In the months after Ron's disappearance, Judith was billed for numerous phone calls from an identified caller, which were placed from motels in Santa Ana and Santa Monica, California. Carol Jensen, an investigator from the Association Wings for Children, uncovered that one of these motels had been suspected of hosting the production of Child P. I don't know how to say that the right way, but it was never confirmed that Ron had been at either motel. I mean, that's all the way on the other side of the country. Ron's mother continued receiving anonymous calls in the ensuing years before eventually changing her phone number. On April 26, 1980, Ron was left to stay at home at the apartment. Her mother, Judith, was spending the evening attending an out-of-town tennis match to watch her boyfriend, a professional tennis player, compete in a match. Ron, who was on spring break at the time, Usually attended the matches with her mother, but asked to stay home at this time. Ron spent the day around the neighborhood at a convenience store on the block, which is that convenience store right there. Several family members had stopped by the apartment during the day. In the evening, she invited one male friend and one female friend over, and the three drank a 6-pack of beer and a bottle of wine together. Sounds like old times right there. Ron's friend would say later that they had seen her restocking wine coolers at that convenience store during the day, possibly in exchange for the alcohol. There you go. I would have questioned all of these people. The guy that was letting her stock shelves for the alcohol, and everybody that was there at that apartment. Sometime around 1:15 on April 27th, Judith arrived home accompanied by her boyfriend and noticed that the light bulbs and all 3 of the apartment building floors had been unscrewed, leaving the hallways completely dark. Judith went to wake Lauren to ask why, but realized as she approached the bed that it was not her daughter at all, but a friend. Lorraine's friend claimed that Lorraine had been in bed with her, but had taken her pillow and blanket to sleep on the couch in the living room. The girl would later state that she was unable to recall any of that night due to her intoxication. That's a little convenient, right? Upon further examination of the apartment, Judith found Lorraine's purse and her brand new sneakers, a birthday gift, in the living room. So it wasn't a money thing because none of her possessions were missing. So it's not a burglary, that's for sure. And this is what I wanted to get to here. So 1 month before Ron's disappearance, 15-year-old Rachel Garden went missing after she purchased a pack of cigarettes and chewing gum at Roan's Corner Market on Route 108 in Newton, New Hampshire, which is way down here. Ron's case has been also tentatively linked to the disappearance of 15-year-old Shirley McBride, who was last seen leaving her half-sister's apartment on Union Street in Concord. So they wanted to try to blame this guy here. Terry Petter Rasmussen was an American convicted unaliver and suspected SKer who was convicted of 1 unaliving and linked to at least 5 more in a series of crimes that stretched across the continuous United States. So I'll have to look into this. Authorities believe Rasmussen had been involved in as many as 6 more unalivings or disappearances, including that of Denise Bowden, who vanished in Goffstown, which is basically just a town over from Manchester in 1981. It was never found, as well as the Bear Brook murders, and I know about those. So let's see if I can find something on this here. I hope everybody's still with me here. Let me check. I'm trying to find something here. So this is it right here. All right, I'll play this one here. All right, hold on a second. Let me share this. Hope everybody's doing well. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the chat, but I'm trying to go through this stuff here. All right, let me share this here. And then we'll move on to other stuff. Here we go. All right, so this was done 14 years ago. Nearly 3 decades. So this is 14 years ago. 14-year-old girl disappeared from Manchester home. The state cold case unit is considering getting involved, and they did already. But I just want to play this here.
just a young teenager the last time anyone saw her. Now, 3 decades later, her case is getting another look. On April 26, 1980, 14-year-old Laureen Ron was hanging out in her Merrimack Street neighborhood.
There was an SKer going around to the Connecticut River Valley Killer right around the same time that this person disappeared here. Just a footnote. That's that corner store there. This is Merrimack Street here. I forget what street this is. It's a one-way. This is downtown Manchester here, and you keep going this way here. You keep going up more north. But that's that corner store right there that she was kind of working at.
She and a female friend went back to her apartment where they fell asleep. When Laureen's mother came home that night, the friend was asleep on the couch, but Laureen was gone.
It was basically a missing juvenile at the time, and she just never appeared. And there's never been any real solid leads to where to go to actually identify where she is right now.
It's been 30 years since Laureen Ron vanished. Her case is profiled on the website of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, along with an age-progressed picture. Today, Laureen would be 44. Police say what's unusual is there was no sign of forced entry.
I don't even want to do the math. So 14 years ago, 44. She'd be my age. She'd be 56, I think, somewhere around there.
And she took nothing with her. How and why she vanished and where she is now remains a mystery.
She walked away, and we don't know if she went out to a different location. There was rumors she went.
Hey, Lighting Your Way Home. Thank you for coming in. Lighting Their Way Home is here. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Went out to California. There was rumors that she, could be here in the city of Manchester. It's been all over the place.
The missing persons website says foul play is suspected, but investigators aren't so sure and are still treating this as a missing persons case. This week, the Attorney General's newly formed cold case unit began looking at Laureen's file.
We're in the process now of reviewing the case involving Laureen Ron.
Who would do that? Who would invite friends over and then just take off? Hey, it's FarQ. Hey, FarQ, how are you? Good to see you. I gave you a wrench, too. I'm just going to start calling Lighting Their Way Home PJ now because everybody else does. I hope you don't mind. But I always butcher your name. Sorry. Sorry.
On to evaluate whether it should be included on the cold case website, whether the circumstances would lead us to believe that foul play was involved and that it should be a case listed with our unit.
Authorities say while the case is now 30 years old, they are still following leads, and anyone with information is asked to call the Manchester Police Department at 668.
So what I'll try to do is after the video here, after the live tonight, I'll try to throw these key points into the description for the missing and stuff like that. So, all right, what am I doing? I'm going to go here now. Hope everybody's doing well. These cases are just awful. If you want a wrench Lighting Their Way Home, just let me know. Same with you, Vid Inquiries. If you want a wrench, let me know. All right, so now we're going to get to some of the week's cases here. This is going to be pretty disturbing here. Just a quick, disclaimer here. This is a terrible story here. I've been following this for a few days now. This was done a few days ago, but I'm going to kind of go back and then fast forward to the present here. So a woman and 3 children were found unalived with pew shot wounds in West Haven. I believe this is from Utah. Let's check this out here. Let me share this. Hold on a second here. This is such a horrible stop, drop, and roll. Dave's throwing wrenches. All right, so this is going to be a little loud. Sorry. So here we go.
Children found dead inside of a car.
All had been shot and a handgun was recovered in that car. So let's listen into this new information coming in right now.
Homicide task force, as well as agencies from or officers from Roy PD, responded to assist us. Our detectives have been working diligently throughout the night, gathering evidence, processing the vehicle in the house. As of right now,
This is just a heart-wrenching story here. This is terrible.
the 4 individuals have been taken down to the medical examiner's office to determine the primary cause of death. That's pretty much all the information we have to give out right now. More information will be provided at a later date when we have all the evidence that we need to put out.
Talk about the area to give us some space to.
Oh, yeah. So this is going to continue to be an active investigation, crime scene area. We're just asking the public to please be patient with us. These are complex cases and just stay away from the area. I think that's all the information we have right now.
So, are you treating this as a homicide?
Until we get the determination from the medical examiner on the cause of death, we haven't made a determination yet.
Suspects.
No, with the evidence we have, there doesn't appear to be any threat to the public safety or the community around here.
So no fifth party involved that you can tell right now?
But the investigation where it's going, we don't have that information right now. Like I said, until
2 children that the woman had. So is this third child related to her? Do you know?
I do not know that. We're still in the early stages of this investigation, so more information will be provided when we figure out who's related to who. And
have you guys been able to enter the home at all?
yes, we've been into the house last night.
So you've already searched the search warrant there?
Yes, last night we did.
Have you been able to determine whether the car they were all in was inside or outside the home, on the street, or
It was parked in front of the house.
it was in front of the house?
Like on the street of the driveway?
In the driveway.
Can you say anything about who discovered the deceased?
I do want to apologize for a couple of the. You live in Durham, New Hampshire? I'm over here in basically Hillsborough. Wrench Wars or Wench Wars? I'll take the Wench Wars. It's a small world. Yeah, I'll start working on that wrench thing here shortly. Then you guys can all start throwing wrenches around. Or wenches, whatever comes first. Oh.
It was a family member that had come home and discovered him.
Any idea of how long they may have been there before being discovered?
At this time, we don't know. We're still reviewing video footage from cameras around the neighborhood to determine how long the car was there.
Are you aware of any past calls to this house?
That's all part of the investigation. And when we do our briefing again, probably tomorrow or later this week, we'll have more information on that.
The new computer is much better, so I apologize for some of the problems we've had. Sandy probably. Yeah, the Harmony visuals, yeah, for sure. I kind of grew up here in Massachusetts. I grew up here in Revere, Massachusetts, technically.
And could you go over the age and genders of the kids one more time? Because we've been told by a neighbor that they, and I know can't release like who's related to who right now, but we've been told that a mother had a 2-year-old boy and a 1-year-old daughter. We were told 1-year-old girl, 2-year-old girl, 4-year-old boy. I didn't know if those were still.
And I don't have that information right here in front of me. I don't know.
Okay.
Any idea when you'll have another update on this case?
It'll be later this week. We'll reach out to.
Yeah, the Harmony case, the Harmony Montgomery case. That's a piece of shit scumbag. Good God. That's sometimes, you wish for the GP, because if anybody deserves it, it's him for sure. I have no respect for that guy whatsoever. And the other one too. She just, hey, Necessarily Evil, how are you? Necessarily Evil's here. Hey, buddy. I know they had to give her kind of immunity, but I don't think she was all that innocent either, to be honest with you.
All the media outlets and let you know.
Would you say, I mean, just, I know this goes into opinion, but I mean, just how tough of a case this is?
These types of cases are very tough on our.
I mean, it'll be a cold day in hell before I, sign off on that. Somebody abusing a child like that. It's just not going to happen. Not around me, that's for sure. I'm doing well. Oh, good to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you for a while. Actually, I see you sometimes over on Curious Contrarian. He's got a great site too. Curious Contrarian's awesome.
Everybody involved as well as the community. I mean, whenever you may have little kids die in such a way, then it's very difficult for our officers, our deputies, our CSI team, the homicide task force, and neighbors.
Imagine a big impact on the family. Say we've been told that there are other family that were living in this house as well.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're listening there to the Weber County Sheriff's Office giving an update on this very tragic situation.
All right, so let's go to this here. We'll go to this here, and then we'll move on to something else here. I'll play this and then the press conference, I guess, here. So this is the same story, just a couple of days later.
A step closer to getting answers in a heartbreaking situation that unfolded.
Look at this. This is just so freaking sad right here. This is just horrible.
Situation that unfolded in a West Haven neighborhood.
Based on video evidence, physical evidence, witness statements, and interviews with family members, detectives believe that this was a tragic incident of murder-suicide.
Officials identified the woman found as 32-year-old Maribel Ibarra and her 3 kids, all under the age of 5. On Tuesday night, a family member found the bodies in a car parked on the driveway in front of their home and called 911. Investigators with the Weber County Sheriff's Office tell.
Yeah, I'm really awful at the notifications. I'm sorry. I will have to say that I'm terrible at the notification thing. I just basically come on whenever I feel like I'm on. I don't know. It's I think one of the reasons is because I don't want to say I'm going to come on and then don't. But I'll try to get better on the notifications for sure. Maps and notifications, it's not my strong suit, that's for sure.
Tell us they found a gun in Maribel's lap and don't believe anyone else was involved.
The evidence indicates that Maribel shot her 3 children in the rear cargo area of her vehicle before.
This is a little disturbing here, so trigger warning here for this.
Turning the gun on herself.
A small memorial on the porch steps of the family's home is growing with stuffed animals and flowers. The family says they have suffered an invaluable loss because these four were the light of their lives. When I spoke to her brother on Thursday, he said Maribel's kids were her life. They shared a statement with us saying, in part, as a family, we unfortunately knew nothing about her mental health. We always saw her as a loving mother, which makes this so shocking for us. We do not know the exact reasons why this tragedy happened, and we deeply regret.
Did you start your channel yet, Heather? I keep waiting for this Heather channel. I think you'd be great at it. I really do. It's very time consuming though, sometimes. But let me know if you did and have.
It. Even investigators say there was no note left behind, and they don't know why this happened.
I don't know that we'll ever be able to actually answer that. Maribel would be the one to be able to answer that, and obviously we can't ask her that question.
I do hope they look into this though, because I mean, anytime there's something like this that happens, I would think that they would, I don't know, at least investigate it a little bit. But they're calling it an MS, so I don't know. But if there's no, history of mental health, I don't know. Let me play that again here.
And they don't know why this happened.
I don't know that we'll ever be able to actually answer that. Maribel would be the one to be able to answer that, and obviously we can't ask her that question.
They're not exactly sure when the shooting happened, but say it started Sunday night and into Monday morning.
Okay, I'm gonna really try hard to pronounce this. Exio Sandra, how are you? If I butchered that, I'm sorry. Firelight, I can say Firelight, that's for sure. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Tragedies like these take a heavy toll on investigators and everyone involved.
This is the second horrible child death for our agency in as many months, and this is the 11th child death scene our CSI has processed in this year.
It's been hard on the community to try and come up with ways to work through some of these.
The Weber County Sheriff's Office tells us this is still an ongoing investigation until the medical examiner releases their final autopsy reports.
Okay, so they haven't come out with that yet, so we'll wait for that. I'll play this one here too. I'll play this one here. Hold on. This is the press conference here, so let's do this. Hold on a second. Let me stop this, share this. So this is the press conference that was done a day ago regarding this thing here. So this is just horribly sad. 3 children. Unbelievable.
Here at KSL, interrupting Studio 5 to bring you breaking news out of West Haven. Weber County investigators giving an update on the shooting deaths of a woman and 3 children, a story we've been covering since late Tuesday night. Let's go there now live and listen in.
Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Terrence Lavely with the Weber County Sheriff's Office. With me are Detective Dustin Stewart, who is the case agent for this case, and Detective Tyrell Hebden. Also with us are Mayor Vanderwood with West Haven City.
Another person is Honeybee. Honeybee is absolutely fantastic. She has a freaking great channel. She does a lot of great work. Tons and tons and tons of respect for Honeybee. She's amazing. Happy birthday, FARQ. It's FARQ's birthday. I wish I had a happy birthday song, but I don't. And I'm not going to sing because I don't want to kill any cats around here. But if it's your birthday, happy birthday.
City, as well as many of the family members from this recent incident. In regards to the family members, they have asked to respect them and they don't want to be interviewed or on camera or photos taken of them. They have provided a statement that we'll be able to provide to you after this news conference is over. At about 10 p.m. on Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024, deputies responded to a 911 call of 4 people found dead in the area of 1800 South Preverdale Drive in West Haven, Utah. Deputies arrived and confirmed the 4 people were deceased and beyond help. Investigators from the Weber County Sheriff's Office Weber Morgan Homicide Task Force and Weber Metro CSI, along with other resources, were called to investigate the deaths. During the investigation, detectives identified the persons as 32-year-old Maribel Ibarra and her 3 children. The sheriff's office will not be releasing the names of the 3 children. Based on video evidence, physical evidence, witness statements, and interviews with family members, detectives believe that this was a tragic incident of murder-suicide. While we have determined the cause of death for all 4 was gunshot wound, we do not believe that anyone else was involved in their deaths. The evidence indicates that Maribel shot her 3 children in the rear cargo area of her vehicle before turning the gun on herself. Our condolences go out to the family of the deceased. Our hearts also go out to the Weber County deputies, Roy City police officers, CSI, and detectives who responded to this horrific scene and continue to work this ongoing investigation.
What the heck would I do without Southern Gal? Thank you, Southern Gal. Appreciate that. It would take me forever to find these peoples. I should put them in the description. I could probably do that. Yeah, Honeybee is absolutely amazing. Southern Gal is too. But Honeybee is tons of respect for Honeybee for sure.
This is the second horrible child death for our agency in as many months, and this is the 11th child death scene our CSI has processed in this year. We recognize the mental and emotional toll that this takes on our people and are actively providing services to them. This is an ongoing investigation. What questions can I answer for you this time?
Lieutenant, several questions. You said that the evidence points to this being a murder-suicide. What evidence?
Physical evidence from the back rear of the vehicle. And I'm not going to go into detail on that. Say what?
Can you be more specific, please?
I'm not going to be more specific on that, but the crime scene was contained to the rear.
Need to get Southern Gal to 1,000 subs for sure. She's close. She's there. She'll be there probably within the next couple of weeks or so for sure. Hopefully sooner. She had Mr. Steve on tonight. Mr. Steve is arguably one of the greatest people on the planet. He's just a great person. He's probably going to think he's going on the road again here. So safe travels to Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve is just great.
Rear cargo area of that vehicle, and everything leads to Maribel's the one that shot her 3 children.
And what about the weapon? Was the weapon recovered inside the car?
It was.
How many shots were fired in all here? Do you know?
I'm not going to release that at this time.
Can you provide the ages of the kids?
4, 2, and 1.
You said this is an ongoing investigation. If you make this determination, why is it an ongoing investigation?
We obviously still have to figure out why this happened, trying to determine that, finish going through cell phone downloads and various different things. But we can confidently say there's no one else suspected in the death of these 4 individuals. And we'll continue our investigation to make sure we have a thorough investigation to say why these deaths happened.
I think you referenced some video evidence. Can you talk a bit about how does that help establish the timeline and further evidence of what happened to?
Yes, it does. There was Ring doorbell evidence from several different houses. I'm not going to go into great detail on all of that, but it does give us a timeline when that happened and did assist us in saying why we believe Maribel is the only person involved in these deaths.
And can you say what date that this incident happened on?
We're not exactly clear on when the shots were actually fired, but it started Sunday night the 2nd into Monday morning the 3rd.
Can you walk us through a timeline of what we know so far up to this point?
Going to go into a timeline on that. That's still a part of our investigation, trying to lock down everything on what happened and putting the video evidence together.
So when did the vehicle arrive back at the house?
When did it come back? I believe the vehicle was at the house the whole time.
The whole time. So there were and what do you believe occurred? When did the shootings take place?
Sometime Sunday night into Monday morning.
And do the shootings happen, all the shootings happen inside that car?
Yes.
Are you able to discuss?
Yeah, this is tragic. This is such a tragic story. You never know. Sometimes these things, find a way of turning out to be not an S, but I think they're pretty confident that this is.
The way the bodies were situated in that vehicle.
I'm not going to go into that part of the investigation.
Did investigators look at other?
This is just so sad. The teddy bears here, it just sucks.
Potential scenarios here.
Obviously, we looked at every potential scenario, and the reason for this news conference is to say that our evidence says this is what happened, that it was a murder-suicide.
And there's been discussion about a boyfriend, been discussion about maybe perhaps, some issues there. To what degree did you look at the boyfriend?
That is all part of this investigation. We did look at him. He's the father of the 3 children.
I swear by melatonin. I used to be basically addicted to like Tylenol PM and Benadryl and NyQuil and all of that stuff, but I take the melatonin gummies. I think it's 10 milligrams or so. They work fantastic. Of course, I take my Zoloft too, so that's probably one of the reasons why. But I take that, my Zoloft, and then I take 2 gummies, and then I'm freaking out like a light. Yeah, it seems like we're getting some choppy service here too, Paula.
And past that, I'm not going to say any more about the investigation.
He is the father of the 3 kids.
He is.
And who made that 911 call?
One of the family members at the house.
And they made the call on Tuesday.
Tuesday night, yes.
So that the bodies were on Monday in the car.
Yes.
Can you speak of the age of the children?
4, 2, and 1.
Oh my God, 4, 2, and 1. Oh, jeez, bro. Do you think that could be? I don't know if they do this stuff anymore. What do they call it? Postpartum depression? Do you think that could be? Who said something, Dave? I used to take Tylenol PM, etc., but mess with my legs. Well, yeah, it kills your liver. I think the Tylenol PM. Yeah, this is terrible. Unbelievable.
Do you have any initial ideas of why this happened? What led to this tragedy?
I don't know that we'll ever be able to actually answer that. Maribel would be the one to be able to answer that, and obviously we can't ask her that question.
Was there anything on her cell phone that pointed to murder-suicide?
I'm not going to go into that part of the investigation.
Was there a note?
There was no note.
The gender of the
Do they even think that anymore? The postpartum stuff and the when chosen, I forget how to pronounce that. Yeah, I swear by the melatonin chewables. They're freaking awesome. I took everything. I was taking just downing NyQuil and what's the other one there? Benadryl. It's a little bit better now that I'm working nights, but I've always been a night person. I've never been able to kind of handle day shift, but who cares? Nobody. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Say that again.
The gender of boys, girls?
1 boy, 2 girls. That's all we have at this time. I do have several of the statements from the family they would like to provide to you. So you can come get those from us now. Thank you for your time.
See, I couldn't do it. Like, I have, I guess I kind of have anxiety. So weed is not the greatest thing to take for anxiety, I don't think, because sometimes it gives you more anxiety. But I do agree, a big fat bowl of green cereal helps. Freaking classic. You're not feeling well, Dean? What's up, buddy? Yes, less idiots to deal with. I agree with that. You all right, buddy? How the hell are we going to figure out how to get onto your OnlyFans? Yeah, I never, like, I was one of those people that kind of, just didn't believe in panic anxiety and panic attacks, panic stress. But boy, did I learn the hard way. That shit's real. But no longer, because I'm on my Zoloft. I don't know what I would do without my Zoloft.
All right. You hear them wrapping up their Weber County investigators speak.
Right. So that's just, that's just horribly sad. I'll try to keep following up on that. I want to stay in Utah, though. Let's go to this one here. I think this is Utah, too. I just actually found out about this case here tonight. But this is kind of weird here. So let's hold on a second here. So this is a story about this. I don't know how to pronounce that. Toel. So a Toel man unalived his daughter, and then admitted an unforgettable sin, charges say. So this has been going on for a while. The father of a Salt Lake County sheriff's deputy who was considered a person of interest in her unaliving has now been charged with her unaliving. This is just really bizarre here. Let's check this out here.
Are asking family or friends to step forward who may be helping to hide a Tooele father now charged with murdering his daughter. That woman, Marbella Martinez, was a Salt Lake County Sheriff's deputy. News specialist Lauren Steinbrecher spoke with police after those charges were filed today, and she joins us now live with some new details. Lauren?
Deanie, yeah, speaking to Tooele police and going through those charging documents, we are learning that Hector Martinez Ayala was allegedly stalking his daughter in the days leading up to her murder, then immediately apparently fleeing the country, they believe, telling family.
What's the matter with Dean? You all right, buddy? Why are you feeling dizzy all of a sudden? Hope he's okay. I know there's some sort of a sinus thing going around. My daughter's got it. But she always goes, as soon as she gets back into school. I mean, as soon as she's in school, yeah. So I don't know if that's the same thing, but I hope you're okay, buddy. So charges filed against a 12-man in Salt Lake County deputy daughter's unaliving. This is just weird.
He committed, quote, an unforgivable sin.
In the month since discovering Marbella Martinez murdered,
That this case was worked on day and night.
Tooele City Police have been carefully connecting the evidence they believe show the 25-year-old Salt Lake County Sheriff's deputy with
Are you all right, man? Wish I knew what was going on with Dean here. Let us know if you need anything, buddy.
Was strangled to death by her own father, Hector Martinez Ayala.
We're seeing that there was a troubling pattern.
Charging documents allege Martinez Ayala was becoming obsessed with Marbella in, quote, more of the nature of a jealous lover than a father.
Can you believe this? More of the nature of a jealous lover than a father. You can't make this stuff up.
Allegedly stalking her with hidden spy cameras and a tracking device on her car.
He went through quite a bit to find out where she was going at different times.
Documents state in late July, Marbella began staying in a hotel, but that a couple days later she returned, and Martinez Ayala texted his family that day saying, quote, I made a big mistake and unforgivable.
I made a big mistake and an unforgivable sin. Now I'm too scared and I don't know what to do. I think I will never come back. This is fucked up.
Sin, then fled the country using a family member's ID and cash from Marbella's credit card. Police say it's possible family or friends helped him. If so, they're hoping they step forward.
We would urge them to do the right thing and help us bring some justice for Deputy Martinez.
Yeah, these documents outline 8 charges against Martinez Ayala. That includes murder, obstruction of justice, stalking. Police say detectives have some solid leads on where he may have traveled to, where they believe he may have traveled to, and are hoping to track him down soon.
So weird. This whole case is so weird. I'm going to try to find out more about this. Hold on a second. Wait 2 seconds here. I just found out about this tonight. Well, I guess I can come back to it at some point here. All right, I'll come back to that because I have more on that. Miranda's here. Hey, Miranda, how are you? Good to see you. Hope you're well, Miranda. Yeah, if only I could jump on a bed, that would be great. I hope Dean's doing all right, though. All right, what am I doing now? Let's go here to this. I wanted to do this here. This is this the one that I wanted to do here? Hold on a second. Yes. Okay, so this went on, this was 57 minutes ago. So let's do this first. This woman here was missing for this Beavertown woman. Family, friends, community members hold search for the missing Beaverton woman. 32-year-old Melissa Jabane, who disappeared earlier this week. This happened this week too. So we'll do the same thing. We'll go back and forth with this. Let me share this here. And I'll try to go back to that other one at some point. So this right here.
For a missing Beaverton woman who hasn't been seen or heard from since Wednesday.
She was reported missing after she didn't show up for her job.
Did you cover this, Southern Gal? Did you cover this one? It's good to see Necessarily Evil in here again. Good to see you, buddy. Memorial service is next Saturday. Oh, that sucks. Oh, I wish I could be there for you. Ah. Tons of love from Miranda Lee here.
As a nurse at Providence St. Vincent. Fox News' Mia Villanueva joins us now live from Beaverton, where friends and family were searching this morning. Mia, what have you learned?
Well, Kim and Shauna, the search just wrapped for Melissa Jubain. It will resume again at 7:30 tonight. And I am live this morning at the apartment complex where she lives. Take a look over my shoulder here. So this apartment complex is on 158th and Baseline. We know that police canvassed this apartment complex last night. They are trying to talk to everyone who lives here. Bloodhounds also searched this complex and they yielded no results, according to police. Now, Melissa Jubain just returned to the area after her wedding in Hawaii last week. She is described as 5'2", 120 pounds with brown hair, blonde highlights, and brown eyes. The search for her today, organized by friends and family, started at 7 this morning. Again, it will resume at 7:30 tonight. It just wrapped around 9 this morning. But friends searching for her, they are understandably very emotional right now.
Just finding some answers. I think Sammy and I, we both are on the same page as far as, with very limited information, we can't just sit and do nothing. I think both of us want to put our part in. So we know we're doing everything we can to help Melissa and her family.
Beaverton police say they are allocating all of their resources to this case because of the nature of this case. However, they did not organize the search party this morning, nor did they organize the one happening tonight. That search will be happening tonight at 7:30. The friends and family of Melissa Jubain, they will be meeting at the Costco just down the street here on 158th Avenue in Beaverton. They're asking for the community's help. For now, reporting live, I'm Mia Villanueva. Good day, Oregon.
That's why I don't go to emergency rooms anymore, because it's or anything like that. I mean, you go there for whatever, for help, and then you end up coming out with more shit. So it's, I just hope Dean's all right. You want a baby goat in a minute? Cow. Yeah, lots of love for Miranda Lee here. Sucks. All right, what was I doing? I want to go to this one here. Let me stop sharing this here. Actually, I can play this one here. Nope, wait a minute. Okay, so let's see here. So apparently they arrested the neighbor in this for this missing Beaverton nurse here. Neighbor arrested, faces unaliving charges connected to this missing Beaverton woman nurse. I think she's from Hawaii. So here we go.
Police have recovered Melissa Jubain's remains, but have yet to say exactly where she was found, arresting her neighbor, 27-year-old Bryce Schubert, who they believe was involved in her disappearance. He's now facing a charge of second-degree murder. Oscar Cardenas met Melissa Jubain years ago while working at the Nike.
There's 22 people in here. That's got to be a record. Got to be a record. I really appreciate it. That's awesome.
Company store when they were both students at the University of Portland, saying she always wanted to help people and reach her goal of one day becoming a nurse.
Such a hard worker, such a sweetheart. And being a nurse, that's like just the most selfless career ever.
They kept in touch over the years through Instagram.
She had such a beautiful life and just such great people around her. Every time she posted on Instagram, she was so happy and just so, I don't know, just glowing.
Both settling down at the same apartment complex in Beaverton off Southwest 160th Avenue and Baseline Road, where Melissa went missing on September 4th.
This area of town is just so quiet and so calm and so safe. So it's just shocking that something like that would happen here.
Setting off searches by family, friends, and most importantly, Beaverton police. During their investigation, police said they learned Melissa's neighbor, Bryce Schubert, was involved in her disappearance, arresting the 27-year-old on a charge of second-degree murder.
It's like, how is this happening in my own backyard, my own apartment complex? But yeah, it's just terrifying, honestly. It's it's scary that, somebody could take away such a beautiful life, so young too.
Recovering Melissa's remains, but holding off on saying exactly where.
I can't even wrap my head around it. It's just so heartbreaking that it would happen here, and we're just gonna miss seeing her.
It's sad. I guess they arrested the neighbor here.
Seeing her beautiful smile and just light up the energy around us.
Now, Melissa was an RN at Providence's St. Vincent Medical Center, which is close to her home. They alerted police Wednesday morning when she didn't show up to her shift. They say her friends, family, and coworkers are in their hearts and prayers. We will have more details on this as Beaverton police continue to release more information. Back to you.
All right, Sydney, thank you. The Oregon Nurses Association is inviting the public to join Melissa's colleagues for a vigil Monday night. It's scheduled to begin at 6 at Ridgewood View.
All right, so what's going on? Whoops. Where's how's Miss Barbara Hall doing? I haven't seen her for a while. Was she in your live tonight, SG? Just trying to go over some of the comments here. Yeah, it's always sending Miranda hugs here. All right. I do want to get onto this here because I've covered this. This guy here is obviously got some mental issues. Obviously not there, but I covered this a little while ago. Let's play this here. Hold on a second. This is the jail jumper. Remember, I played this and I couldn't stop laughing. I probably shouldn't laugh at this, but hold on a second here. Hello, Kathy S. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Just going over some of the true crime cases of the week now. I'm going to go over this guy here. Gail's here. Hi, Gail. How are you? Good to see you. This is the guy. Remember, he jumped over the guy. I got to promise myself not to laugh at this time. But this is the guy that jumped over the bench and attacked the judge, remember? So he's been in court for an attempted unaliving of the judge. And he's pleading guilty. But this guy definitely has some mental issues for sure. But this, I don't know how to say this, Deobra Redden. Remember the guy jumping over the judge, like 10 guys just to, like, you can't make this stuff up.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. It was a surprising turn of events in the Judge Jumper attempted murder trial in Las Vegas. Defendant Deobra Redden pleaded guilty to all of the charges.
I want to just take some time to thank everybody for coming into the channel. I really appreciate it. I don't know who's spreading the good word, but thank you so much. I appreciate everybody that's here. You guys are all awesome. And again, here we go, throwing wrenches around. If anybody wants a wrench, I know I'm going to give Vid Inquiries a wrench, and I gave Gail her a wrench. Hey, Gail, how are you? Good to see you. Good to have you in here. And Paula. But you guys remember this case? This is, I don't know how I found this case. It's, okay, Heather, you can take the credit. Not him again. This guy. I got to stop laughing at this. This is not funny. This poor woman. I got to back it up again. So apparently, this guy was in
Defendant
court,
Deobra Redden,
and he was supposed to get a lighter sentence, but this judge wasn't having it. So she because he's got a ton of priors, but she wasn't having any of it. So she started to sentence him, and he just didn't want anything to do with it. So he jumped over the.
pleaded guilty to all of the charges, including count 1 of attempted
I'd laugh at that every
murder. Let's get you back into court now, where the judge is addressing the defendant.
You also understand that you are eligible for probation with respect to those other counts,
Yes.
as well as count 3.
Yes.
Your Honor, I think count 7 is actually non-probationable.
Okay. Okay. I will get to count 7. I thank you, count.
Thank you, lighting the way home. This guy, I'm sorry, he just leaped like, oh my God, it's just so funny. Oh, he's going to get his ass handed to him now for sure.
Counsel for doing that. You are not eligible for probation with respect to count 7. We will get to that in a few moments. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. With respect to count 4, do you understand the court must sentence you to imprisonment in the Nevada Department of Corrections
So he's pleading guilty but mentally ill to all charges.
for a minimum term of not less than 2 years and a maximum term of not more than 10 years?
Yes.
Do you understand in that instance you may be fined up to $10,000?
Yes.
With respect to count 5, do you understand that the court must sentence you to imprisonment in the Nevada Department of Corrections for a minimum term of not less than 1 year and a maximum term of not more than 5 years?
Yes.
Do you also understand you could be fined up to $10,000 with respect to that count?
Yes.
With respect to count 6, do you understand that the court must sentence you to imprisonment in the Nevada Department of Corrections for a minimum term of not less than 1 year and a maximum term of not more than 6 years?
Yes.
Do you also understand in that instance you could be fined up to $5,000?
Yes.
Okay, and that again is with respect to count 6. With respect to count 7, do you understand that the court must sentence you to imprisonment in the Nevada Department of Corrections for a minimum term of not less than 2 years and a maximum term of not more than 10 years?
Yes.
Okay, and you do understand that you are not eligible for probation for the offense to which you're pleading guilty with respect to count 7?
Yes.
And do you understand you could also be fined up to $10,000?
Yes.
And in any case, that the law does require you to pay certain administrative assessment fees.
Yes.
Do you also understand the court may order you to make restitution to any victim of the offense to which you are pleading guilty?
Yes.
So he's attempted murder of victims 60 years or older. That's the judge. Battery on a protected person, which is the judge. Extortion by threat, the judge. So, all right, hold on. Let me. Okay, so vid inquiries, PJ. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can do this. All right, so I'm going to go here. Okay, so that should take care of vid inquiries. Here's PJ right here. Let's see, who else did I want to give a wrench to? Paula. All right, there you go. I think if there's anybody else, let me know. Let me get back to this here. I think I gave everybody that I wanted to a wrench, but just let me know.
Has anyone threatened you or forced you to plead guilty but mentally ill?
No.
Has anyone told you if you do not plead guilty but mentally ill, some other adverse action will be taken against you?
No.
And I take it that you have, you've received a
Like I said, the wrenches are just for, like, if you have a channel or if you know somebody that's got a good channel. I know that Beyond the Evidence, Marv is an awesome channel too. It's just so that you can kind of, because I don't think you can post channels in chat if you don't have a wrench. So you don't have to do anything if you have a wrench. It's not like you're required to do anything. So You guys are all awesome. I really appreciate it. I have 170 subscribers, and I think I have 170 mods.
A copy of the guilty plea memorandum,
Yes.
okay? And your signature is affixed thereon on page 8, is that right?
That's true.
And your lawyer, Mr. Arnold, he signed the guilty plea memorandum.
I think I have an added thing. Hold on. Let me see if I can I do this? No, I don't think so. I added something to my things, but I don't think I can do that right now. So let me, I'll work on that. Sorry. Oh,
On page 9,
Yes.
prior to signing the guilty plea memorandum, did you read it?
Yes, I did.
Did you discuss it with your lawyer before you signed it?
Yeah, I did.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, he did.
Did you sign the guilty plea memorandum willfully, knowingly, and voluntarily?
I try to, just stick to the topics and stuff like that. Everybody in this channel is, everybody in the chat is awesome. I hope Dean's all right. So 2 A's, please. Yeah, I'll give Kathy S a wrench too for sure. Somebody else do it. If you want one, just let me know. No problem. Let me. Like I said, you don't have to have one.
Voluntarily?
Yes,
Do you feel you understand the terms of the guilty plea memorandum?
I do.
Has anyone made any promise to you other than those set forth within the guilty plea memorandum that induced or caused you to plead guilty but mentally ill?
Say that one more time.
Sure. Has anyone made any promise to you other than those set forth within the guilty plea memorandum that induced or caused you to plead guilty but mentally ill?
No.
Okay. You understand that later on, when there
Thank you for coming in. If you fall asleep, Kathy, yes, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
are requests with respect to sentences or any sentences that may be agreed to by your lawyer, and the lawyers for the state would not be binding upon the sentencing judge.
I don't understand what that means.
Do you understand that sentencing is totally up to me?
Okay, yes.
That's irrespective of whatever your attorney argues to me. If later on there's deals made between your lawyer and the lawyers for the state, I don't have to abide by those deals. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And do you also understand that you might, on the basis of your guilty plea but mentally ill, receive, if there was any deals going on, that that you could receive a more severe sentence than that, either requested, recommended, stipulated, argued by your lawyer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Justice for Libby and Abby for sure. Justice for Flora. Justice for Timothy D. Justice for everybody. Everybody needs the justice. Hopefully people get some answers here pretty soon.
Do you have any questions as to what you're alleged to have done within the second amended indictment?
No.
Do I need to review all that with him?
He's never been canvassed as to count one, Your Honor. I think the parties can agree to incorporate the factual basis from his previous plea as to counts 2 through 7, but he's never been canvassed as to count one.
Okay, let me go through that. I don't have that right in front.
All right, so this guy's goose is cooked. I just wanted to play that because I laugh every single freaking time. It's just, I guess I shouldn't, but all right, so we're going to go to this missing Maryland man vanishes, car found in desert 2,000 miles from home. This was done a day ago. This is part of the missing on News Nation here. Brian McGinnis vanished after leaving his Maryland home. His car was found thousands of miles away in Arizona. Now his mom wonders if her son was planning on coming back. So this is this story here. share this here. Hold on a second. All right, here we go.
Person case from across the country, no matter their race, religion, background, or circumstances. Every missing person matters, has a family, friends, and even sometimes complete strangers looking for them. That is where we believe.
Thank you, SG, for putting that up there, the petition. If you haven't signed the petition yet to reopen Timothy D's case, please do. You don't have to. I have. Barbara Hall is an amazing person. I hope she's doing well. That's Timothy D's mom, Barbara Hall. And thankfully for people like Southern Gal and Arctic True Fox, another good channel, Steve, Mr. Steve, all the people who have been getting the word out on that case. It's awesome.
You come in by watching and sharing each and every one of these cases we cover. Our hope is that we can together find answers and offer some closure. This week, our featured case starts in Maryland. A young man named Brennan McGinnis leaves home days before Christmas. 2 weeks later and 2,000 miles away, Brennan's car is found in the Arizona desert. It's a peculiar case, and in a moment, I'm going to be joined by Law Olmstead, the president of the Missing Persons Center, to talk more about.
What's the temperature down there now, buddy? It's got to be in the 80s at least. God, I wish I was in Florida right now. This is when New Englanders start to say, maybe we should start heading to Florida. I could live in Florida, no doubt in my mind.
Brennan's disappearance. First, though, a few other cases that we are following for you this week. A $50,000 reward is now being offered in the search for Sebastian Rogers. The 15-year-old vanished 6 months ago from his home.
I think they're starting to get a little closer to this case. I may do a thing on this guy here next week, Sebastian Rogers. But I have a feeling they're getting close with this case here.
Home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. The new reward in the case coming from the FBI. Despite multiple searches of the area, there has been no sign of
92?
Sebastian. According to his family and police, Sebastian has multiple.
It's 92 down there? Oh, my God. Oh, that would feel like heaven. Yeah, I feel so bad for this kid. But the good news is, they got help with the about the FBI now, because I think they may be on to maybe this is an interstate case, but I could be wrong.
Multiple medical conditions and is on the autism spectrum, which could make it hard for him to return home safely. The husband of Manta Kafel-Bott is now facing charges in her disappearance. Manta is a 28-year-old mother from Virginia who vanished in late July. Police arrested Nareesh Bott at the family's home, and he is now being charged with concealment of a dead body. Manta is a nurse and a mother, and prosecutors say the suspect had a history of abusing the victim and had made Google searches on his laptop regarding the death of a spouse. We also have a sad update on another missing case that we have been following for several years. Police in Michigan have.
This is another case here, D. Warner. The brother is it's so hard to listen to him because, it's just, thank you, Kathy. Yes, thank you for signing that. Yeah, it's pretty freaking cold here. It's maybe 55 and it rains. So now it's, this is New England here for you. This is, it's supposed to be in the 80s again next week though. So let's hope so. Hey, Big Fish, Small Pond. Good to see you. It's 106 in Texas. Yeah, Texas is hot. Texas is, there's only one way they're going to find her remains is if he tells them. Delphi has a hotel, I think, too. I'd like to get out to Delphi once, but
recovered the remains of D. Warner. The remains were found in an empty tank meant for anhydrous ammonia on her husband's property. The mother of 5 disappeared in 2021. Her husband was charged in November with murder and tampering with evidence. He has pleaded not guilty. Dale Warner is set to appear in court this month. Now to this week's featured case. A family in Maryland is desperate to find their son and brother. Brennan McGinnis skipped work just before Christmas in.
Did you cover this, SG? Yeah, it's such a horrible listening to. It's just so hard sometimes to listen to the families. You know, the families. It's just it's depressing. It just sucks. It's just awful. And I don't mean to, keep saying it, but that's the only reason why I'm here. It's because of the families and getting some people some answers and trying to put as much, exposure out on some of these cases. So here we go.
2023. His abandoned car was then discovered thousands of miles away in the Arizona desert. His family and friends are asking for help. How could he have just vanished? Police are telling us at this point in the investigation, all options are on the table.
He loved playing guitar. He practiced playing guitar every day. I really miss hearing him play.
Brennan McGinnis left home in Maryland a few days before Christmas and hasn't been seen since.
The week before he left, we were making little miniature Christmas trees using pipe cleaners. He was all smiles and talking to us. Because like I said, he's kind of quiet. Everything seemed perfect and normal, like nothing was wrong. And then a week later, he doesn't come home and he's gone.
Brennan was due in for his shift at food distributor Sysco in Maryland on the night of December 21st, but he never showed up. Instead,
he went to the grocery store to pick up a prescription. He went to Chick-fil-A to grab something to eat. He went to the bank and withdrew cash, and it wasn't a lot. It was only $200 that he took out.
his mom, Patricia, said Brennan had battled with depression for most of his young adult life, but added that he'd been at a maintenance level for the last several years. His friend, Lucas, who he played video games with, said he didn't notice anything unusual about Brennan before he left.
Everything seemed normal. It was green talk. It was the basic every day. Hey, how you doing? You want to play some games? And it was just normal. He seemed like himself. He was happy, doing his basic stuff, listening to music, playing games, chatting. Nothing was out of the ordinary.
Patricia didn't realize Brennan was missing until the next day because she thought he was at work. Now, when she looks back at the places he stopped before he left town, she wonders if he ever planned on coming back.
He went to a couple of locations in our town. My personal opinion is that it holds good memories and nostalgia for him. And to me, when I look back on it, it just feels like having a last look.
Brennan's phone either went dead or was turned off the night he left. Since then, there's been no activity on his bank cards or credit cards. From there, Brennan's car, a red Hyundai Accent sedan, was tagged in several states heading west. Friends think he may have been at the Grand Canyon in late December.
Inside the vehicle, there were visitor maps that you would only get when you go through like one of the entrance stations or one of the visitor centers. So we believe that there's a good chance that he visited the south rim of the Grand Canyon because those visitor maps were in the vehicle.
The car was found 2,000 miles from home January 3rd, abandoned on Scenic Route 89A in Page, Arizona. It had just 15 miles worth of gas.
Who just goes and walks away out here? Does that seem normal to you? Page, did she say Page, Arizona?
Left in the tank.
The Arizona troopers said that when they located the vehicle, there was no license plate on the back. So it appeared that Brennan had removed the license plate. There was a note left in the car. It's not a suicide note or anything. The note essentially was gifting the car to whoever found it. It was like, whoever finds this car, take good care of it. It's a good car. It's reliable.
Patricia looks back on recent family trips to Disney World and Tennessee and wonders how this could have happened.
Did he just cut and run and hitchhike out? Did he just walk out into the desert? I can't even begin to imagine like what was going through his head at that point.
It is a curious case, and we've got to focus on the timeline.
So let me do this here. Careful, everybody. Here come the maps. So this is, I believe she said Page, Arizona. So this is Page, Arizona here. This is literally in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure it's beautiful country. So there's, I think this is the border here. I could be wrong. Yeah, Utah, Arizona here. So let's check it out. Maybe not. Okay. There's a dam. Yeah, this is literally, there's nothing here. Beautiful, beautiful place. Look at this. So yeah, I don't know who would go disappear there. You go back to this here.
To try to find answers. Joining me now, Law Olmstead, president of the Missing Persons Center. Law, one thing I appreciate about you is you focus on the facts. And I think as we look at this timeline, I know you want to pay special attention to the last known whereabouts of Brennan, which takes us all the way back to Maryland, his home where his family and friends are. And he ate at this Chick-fil-A and then didn't show up to work. Why is it important that we start asking questions about that?
Well, because ultimately when the vehicle is found in Arizona and there's no evidence that he planned on taking a trip to Arizona, that's where it starts. Why was the car discovered or located in Arizona, but there's no evidence of him preparing for a trip? If all he did was take out $200 cash from an ATM, that would not nearly be enough to take care of just the fuel costs getting to Arizona. It would be far more than that, let alone maybe stopping at a motel or something like that, stopping for food with no activities on any kind of.
Okay, so he picked up prescription at the grocery store. This is last seen December 21st, 2023. Ate at a Chick-fil-A, withdrew $200 from the bank, did not show up to the work shift.
Debit card or anything like that, and the phone being turned off. I have a feeling that if he did take this trip, in fact, that he may have been accompanied by someone else who paid for these things. But again, we mentioned this note that was found in the vehicle not being a suicide note. It's a very curious note. And I'd like to know, what's been done to verify the handwriting to be sure it was his. Because if it wasn't his, then we got to roll all the way back to Maryland again and try to find out where he is in Maryland. He may never have made that trip. Somebody may have stolen.
I'm not sure where he worked. I know somebody said something about manufacturing or something like that. I'll deep dive this in a couple of weeks or so, maybe next week. Kathy, we love you. Absolutely.
Stolen his vehicle from him from behind the Marley Station Mall. So there's so many things to consider here. This is one of the wildest cases I've seen in the last few years, for sure.
And based on what we know publicly from police in the investigation, even what the family is saying, foul play does not seem as though it's a high factor here of suspicion. Given that, would they not be investigating forensics? Would they look at the car or perhaps that Chick-fil-A to look at any evidence of a crime that may have happened?
I think foul play needs to be mostly considered because none of the other details make any sense. I think it.
I mean, where'd he go? Don't they have the Chick-fil-A, right? They must have some sort of a security camera somewhere.
It's kind of easy and convenient for law enforcement to do two things.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not impossible, but you know, why would he go there?
Is kind of say someone is voluntarily missing, and another one is that it is possibly a case of potential self-harm. That kind of takes.
Thank you so much for coming in, Firelight. I appreciate you coming in. Stop by anytime you want. You're always welcome here. Thank you, Kathy, for sure.
Takes them off the hook a little bit. If I were assigned this case as an investigator in law enforcement, I would first do the best I could to rule out foul play because it just seems obvious something happened here. None of this is fitting together. And we need to start with his inner circle, his friends, some family members, but people that he associated with on a daily basis. There's too many questions surrounding around Maryland for sure. So foul play to me is a 60% chance still at this.
Well, we all know who took him now, right?
There's too many questions surrounding around Maryland for sure. So foul play to me is a 60% chance still at this time.
Right. And law enforcement being open about any possible scenario is still on the table, but it's been coming up on a year this Christmas. And our audience has picked up on this case very quickly, Law. In fact, we've gotten a lot of attention and hits on social media and on our website, and a few viewer questions that seem to be aligned with what you're saying here. I've got one from Ashley in Texas, and she says, what about his gamer profile? So we know.
Pretty sure you will, Kathy. We all want to see justice for those girls. I've been following Delphi for, 6.5 years now for sure. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about them. The Flora girls, Harmony Montgomery, any of the kids, any of the people that can't, defend themselves. It's have a good. Is Kathy going to sleep? Have a good night, Kathy. Or Dandy, sweet dreams. Whoever's going to sleep, good night. Thank you.
Brennan liked to play video games. He had kind of a close circle, tight-knit group that played video games. How might that play into investigative clues here and looking back at his history in gaming?
Well, it'd be another thing just to track, when was his last login? How many different platforms did he have subscriptions to? And what were the conversations with people on those platforms leading up to this as well? So all communications from any platform, any devices is very, very important, super significant.
Car had 15 miles of gas left in the tank, so that's not a lot, right?
I want to go back to that soundbite that we have from Brennan's mom, and she's talking about the car and the location. So found in Page, Arizona, in the middle of the Arizona desert, about 2,000 miles away from Brennan's home. Here's Brennan's mom, Patricia.
The Arizona troopers said that when they located the vehicle, there was no license plate on the back. So it appeared that Brennan had removed the license plate. There was a note left in the car. It's not a suicide.
You did a great job, Southern Guy. You did a great job on Flora for sure. I have, 4 or 5 different lives on Delphi. From day one from Delphi, I don't know. I didn't think the case was very complicated, but that's just my opinion.
Side note or anything.
They made it complicated. They literally made it complicated. It wasn't complicated. It was brutal, and you know, some animal. But it wasn't a complicated case.
Note essentially was gifting the car to whoever found it. It was like, whoever finds this car, take good care of it. It's a good car. It's reliable.
So police then find this car, and now we have a soundbite from Aaron Dick, the search and research coordinator. This is with the Coconino.
The Delphi case is a perfect example of why, you question. Sorry to go on a soapbox here, but you question whether law enforcement really listens to the family. Because, I mean, for God's sakes, Becky told them right from the beginning, this wasn't a planned event. It wasn't planned that morning. They didn't plan it. So, it's just, and I've been dealing with that for 6 years now. Why they didn't listen to her. But what the hell do I know?
County Sheriff's Office. I want to play what his response to was finding the car.
He could have as easily have just parked the vehicle there because it was nearly out of fuel, and gotten taken a ride from somebody else and gone somewhere not even in the area. Or he could have walked away from that vehicle into the forest at that location. We just haven't we haven't developed any clues that kind of lead us any direction.
So, Law, these are all theories, right? We can only go based on the evidence they have so far. But what stands out to you about the circumstances of the car found in the desert?
Two things. One, the vehicle is on the side of a road, an interstate, I believe, with 15 miles of gas. If I'm him or anyone else driving this vehicle, I'm driving it till there's 0 miles of gas.
That car right there is really good on gas, too. I think that gets probably 30 to 40 miles per gallon.
Hopes I can find a gas station. Then from there, there's a note.
So a red Hyundai Accent tagged in several states heading west, probably from tolls, maybe found abandoned on a scenic route. 89A, I'll have to look that up. 15-mile note left inside. Okay.
Gifting will say the vehicle to someone else. What very sensitive move, very kind thing to do, but it makes no sense. It just makes no sense. So the biggest thing for me is the car really didn't run out of gas.
Note left gifting car to whoever found it. Really?
It was low on fuel. It didn't run out of gas. And now law enforcement is making guesses. Well, he could have walked away and this and that. No, that just doesn't seem right. If the car had 15 miles of gas in it, that means someone else was informed, hey, my car has only got 15 miles of gas. Come meet us here on the interstate and pick us up. That's what it shows me. That car wasn't just abandoned there. But there was some reason those plates were taken off, which doesn't make any sense. I can't even try to come up with any kind of a sensible reason why the plates were removed, unless it was stolen from him at some point.
Well,
Randy's awesome. Randy's a good guy.
and then I start to question, what did that scene look like around the car? Were there footprints? Which direction did they go? Was there any other evidence left behind? Fingerprints on the car that don't match anyone in his close circle. We got another viewer question from Nancy in North Carolina who's been following this case, and she wants to know about the phone records. Investigatively, how hard is it for a family like Brennan's to find out who his last phone calls were, where his phone last pinged?
It shouldn't be very difficult. They've just got to contact the phone carriers to get permission based on the circumstances. However, it shouldn't be the responsibility of the family to recover this information. This should be part of a forensic.
So he is 5'11", long hair, full beard, last seen in a blue hooded sweatshirt, blue jeans, black shoes. His car was found on 89A near Jacob Lake. I'll have to look that up. Below are some of the items believed Brennan may have been with him. Jacket with him, his license plate, that's his license plate right there. His phone, red Galaxy with black cover, box case to it. So
forensic analysis that law enforcement should be anxious to do.
I wonder if he picked up a hitchhiker.
And provide them some sort of details of what they're finding so they can kind of put some pieces together. It's clear to me that it hasn't been done.
Back to the car in the Arizona desert. I mean, there are a handful of cases, Law, that I can recall that we have.
Randy and Marv, that's where I met Steve. Steve used to be a guest host on, Frank and Marv's channel all the time. And I used to watch Marv and Frank all the time. And Randy used to be on there all the time too, but that's where I met Steve. And then Steve went to, host other channels too, Kristen Behind the Crime Door. And then he got his own channel.
Covered that have led us to
that was 3 or 4 years ago.
Mystery in the desert, where people simply go missing. Kenny from Iowa City is asking about the reservations in that area. A place that authorities would likely be asking some questions, just if anybody saw him.
I just want to see Becky get some answers. I want to see Anna get some answers. I want to see them all, it's all about the victims families, never going to be about anything else. Whoever did this, I don't care who did it. Whoever did this deserves the worst freaking punishment possible to any human being. That's how I feel. I don't care who did it. Like Steve says all the time, unfortunately, when it comes to criminals like this, you can't vote for them. So whoever did it, whoever is responsible, I'm all in for the worst possible punishment that could be inflicted upon any human being, period. Those girls should be here today. They shouldn't have been unalived like that. Whoever the animal is or animals were, that's how I feel.
You know what? When I was doing some research on this and looking at maps where the vehicle was located, there's a lot of tribal reservations in that area. And I believe, isn't his name somehow Indian or Native?
I'd have to circle back on that. Not sure.
Yeah, it might be. So maybe he has some, desire to be part of the Indian community or something and was headed that way. But again, I don't feel that way. I feel that this vehicle was taken from him at some point and someone staged.
I think sometimes that's what happens. People get caught up in the suspect, the person who did it. Fuck them. It's not about them ever, in my opinion. They deserve the worst punishment. That piece of dog shit down there in Florida, Stephen Stearns, it's about the victims, period.
This noted, because again, it doesn't make sense. And then they were heading back somewhere towards some sort of reservation or something. But again, these are really tough things to try to figure out. But yes, there is a large Indian presence in that area specifically.
Yeah, I agree with you. The details don't add up. So
that's who took him was a Wookiee.
You work with a lot of families on missing cases in the work that you do each day, and we appreciate partnering with you as we investigate these cases as well. What is the advice that you would give to a family in these circumstances where it just seems like the dots are hard to connect, and there are a lot of theories out there as their best course of action to put pressure on law enforcement to do more?
Well, not every family is financially capable of hiring a private investigator, a qualified private investigator.
Hello, Heather E. Uh-oh. Now I'm going to, there's a Heather Brown and a Heather E. Good to see you. Thank you, Paula, for coming in. Awesome to have you here in the chat. Thank you for all your support. Have a good night. Stay safe this weekend, for sure.
Investigator to handle the case, but that would be my advice. Is law enforcement, there's great people in law enforcement who are very much driven by solving mysteries. But there's also a lot of them that are overwhelmed and just simply don't even have the skill set. A private investigator who specializes in missing persons cases can help them develop the information they need.
I hope Dean's okay. Downtown Julie Brown. No, he's a piece of dog shit. I literally can't stand that guy.
Need to potentially solve this case. I believe this is a solvable case, but it's going to be done through private resources and not public.
Another thing, Law, that we run into in a lot of cases, if there is a history of mental illness, or in Brennan's case, his mom is forthcoming that he had struggled with depression, but he was maintaining it. How does that factor into the police response and the investigation and even the public's interest in a missing case?
Well, the police response to that is going to be very limited. That's going to give them kind of an out. We'll say they're not going to do a whole lot, and they're going to wait for, unfortunately, maybe a body to be discovered. As far as the public goes, it's a mystery because a lot of people do suffer from depression and self-harm ideology. So there's a lot of people compassionate who want to see him found, just like all of us do. We want to see him found. So that does sympathize with the community and helps a lot more people get involved in the search. I can already see there's been a lot of community search efforts on this, but they're still not finding him.
And the public is powerful. I think that's part of what we appreciate most in our Missing series is partnering with the public. They see these stories, they share them. How important of a tool are they in a case like this?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I have a feeling that there's a little bit more behind the scenes that are going on in the Madeline Soto case. They're just being really tight-lipped about it. Who knows? I've been trying to stick up for her, Jen Soto, but it's not working out well.
So few answers.
They're huge because, manpower we'll say within law enforcement is very limited. It's always going to be limited. However, community efforts are unlimited. You can get thousands and thousands of people to a location over time. And there's been many cases where, volunteers and just general people who have no association to anything.
Look at all these missing veterans here. That's another thing.
And just are curious and they get drones out and different things and start looking. That is so powerful, and it does make a huge difference. There's so many times you find where you hear about even just hikers finding the remains of somebody who had gone missing, even in areas where law enforcement had done supposedly very comprehensive searches and found nothing. So the community part, getting this information out there, like you guys at News Nation do the best job of anybody I've ever worked with in any era, basically, of getting the word out and covering these cases. So because you're covering this, there should be a lot of people willing to help out, spread the word, and even get out there and do some searching. It doesn't hurt.
Right. And we're coming.
All right. So that's the end of that. I'll try to keep an eye on that. Maybe I'll do a deep dive on that at some point. There's just so many cases going on. It's through the roof. Okay. I want to play one more thing and then I'll get out of here. Yeah, that sucks that there's so many veterans that are missing too. I need to do something about that. It's just so much time, it's like, I gotta make some time. That's what I gotta do. All right, so I'm gonna play this here, going back to the Sandra Birchmore case here. I'll be covering this till the end of time. Police said unaliving by suicide, but was it? And these three guys here. This is the guy that's been arrested here, Matthew Farwell. But I would not be surprised if a couple of these other people get arrested too. So if people don't know about this here, former police whistleblower Austin Handel, who is now vice chair of Lamplighter Project, joins Banfield to discuss the unaliving of Sandra Birchmore. So let's check this out.
Detective Matthew Farwell was finally charged in her murder, but at least two of
You ain't
fellow
kidding.
Stoughton police officers have also been accused of using Sandra as a sex toy, just passing her around. Not one of them is still on the force, but those other two fellas are fighting to get their jobs back. What? Wow. Wow. I can't wait for the Klieg light. And my next guest knows the type. In 2020, Austin Handel was an officer in Dunwoody, Georgia, a suburb of Atlanta, when he was fired after helping expose a sexually abusive superior. He now works to help other whistleblowers as co-founder of the Lamplighter Project, and Austin Handel joins
I'll have to check that out, Southern Gal. Thank you.
me now live. Austin, thanks for being on. Just your overall reaction to all the details that I've been doling out tonight and other nights.
I'm just shocked by the fact that this is even a problem. The fact that someone that was so full of life and so beautiful and so trusting of the police force was subjected to such heinous and terrible crimes. And it never should have happened. And we have to create systems to ensure that they don't ever again.
Austin, at least 3 cops are alleged by even the police themselves in an internal.
So if people don't know about this case, this is the Sandra Birchmore case. She got involved in this police officer detective, and he groomed her and basically, took advantage of her. They got pregnant. I think she got pregnant twice, actually. She got pregnant once, miscarried, and then the second time. And he didn't want anything to do with it. So he's been arrested for her unaliving. They called it a, voluntary unaliving at first, but now they've changed their mind because of, in my opinion, a lot of pressure from the community, especially with the Karen Reed case that's been going on around there. So let's check out.
Investigation to have sexually abused this girl, right? While she was a girl. She became an adult, but this went on for almost a decade, right? But there might have been a fourth. And all I keep thinking, is this an aberration? Is this just this police department that's such a scum hole? Or do you think that this is more widespread than most people want to believe?
I think we have a problem across the country where there is not a great system in place right now for officers to report misconduct, even for younger officers, especially that see misconduct happening from their superiors or from veteran officers. They are quickly retaliated against, like I was in our city, and they're pushed out of the policing profession forever. Thankfully, in my case, I had enough resources to fight back and to clear my name, but also to expose what the city had done. But in this case, it's all too similar to what the other cases we hear at the Lamplighter Project are like.
I want to
Officers
be,
have no.
I want to just be like on the record as we have this conversation. I am a huge supporter of police officers, even the ones who've given me tickets, because I think they do heroes work. They put themselves in danger every single day. They get spat on, they get sworn at. You just need to watch one episode of On Patrol Live to see just how awful people treat them, and how dangerous their every day is. So I'm a huge supporter, and I know that people allegedly, like these guys, are bad apples. But I am fascinated when you say that the system is hard for the younger cops to tell on some of these bad apples. When I look at Matthew Farwell's text messages, all I can think of was like, dude, you know crime. Dude, you know how crime works. You're not even worried about these texts. You didn't even delete them. Does this resonate with you?
Well, and I think it speaks to arrogance. I think the problem is that obviously Matthew Farwell thought that this was something he could get away with, and he got away with it for years. And it just goes to show again that if this is what was happening just to this one person, who else knows what's happened in communities like this across the nation? There's a lot of officers, especially veteran officers, who, again, I echo your concerns that officers are inherently good. And I believe in the profession is ethically sound. And I believe that most officers try their best to be ethical and to do the right thing. but there are police officers among us that they protect themselves, they protect each other, simply because they've worked together for so long and they think they're a family. But in reality, we're supposed to protect and serve the public, but there was no protection here, and there certainly was no service to the public in this.
Well, we'll see, right? Because the service may be coming now. The lights are on and the feds are watching. They're investigating. And this may go a lot farther and wider than just one murder case. Austin Handel, thank you so much for this. And thanks for the work you do.
Thank you.
So I'll be following this case for eternity, literally. It's just a sucky case. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for coming. I've been here 2.5 hours. I appreciate everybody's time coming into the chat. Michael Lloyd has been missing since Mother's Day 2042. 47-year-old mom of four's disappearance still has investigators in Central Missouri. Hold on a second. So let's see here. Second, let me see if I can share this. I don't know why it's taking so long to load here. Oh, because of all the advertisements. One second, let me share this here. I'll share one more thing. This is Missouri. So Missouri family seeks help to find missing woman Echo Michael Lloyd. Michelle Lloyd, sorry. This was written up July 19th, 2024. Updated the same day at 3:44 p.m. Missouri family is urgently asking the public for assistance finding their missing family member, Echo Michael Lloyd, who disappeared May 14th, 2020. She has not been seen or heard from in more than 4 years. According to Missouri State Highway Patrol poster, Lloyd was last seen at 30617 Stag Drive, Edwards, Missouri on May 14th, 2020. She was last sighted in Warsaw, Missouri. She was last seen at Walmart and Dollar General in Warsaw, Missouri, not Climax Springs. A family spoke with the cashier who saw her on 5/10/2020, the spokesman said. The most recent update in the case came on March 27, 2024. Public statement affirming that Echo's case has never left the sheriff's office thoughts. Those familiar with the case, a report was received regarding a potential missing person. A deputy was dispatched to Stag Drive in Edwards, Missouri, where they met Echo Lloyd's daughter, who was reported not having seen her mother in 2 weeks. I'll have to look into this for sure. The DDCC continues to actively investigate all tips and leads received 3 weeks ago. The Camden County Sheriff's Office provided a lead that was pursued involving canine units and a forensics team, but unfortunately no significant breakthrough was made in Echo's case. Echo Lloyd, aged 43, is described as having brown hair, brown eyes, standing at 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing about 110 pounds. She has a tattoo on her forearm with the phrase "Let it be," accompanied by birds on her wrist. She has the name of her 4 children, Kelsey, Casey, Caitlin, and Kylie, tattooed on her arm. I think I can do this. Oops. Let me try to copy this here. There you go. I'll keep looking into this as much as possible. Her daughter took her Mother's Day presents, but she wasn't home. So I put this in the chat. I'll look into this. Whoops, sorry. She has children that needs answers. Yes, she has a lot of children that need answers. All right. So yeah, I'll look into that a little bit, Dandy and whoever else. Maybe I'll do something on that next week. I didn't know about that case. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for coming in. Sorry I bothered you too long. It's been over 2.5 hours now. All right. So thank you, Miracle Hearts, for coming in. Thank you. I hope I'm saying this right. Probably butchering this. Vid Inquiries. Thank you so much for coming in and spending some time with us. Heather Brown, you're freaking awesome. Thank you so much, Heather Brown, for coming in. Who else was in here? I know both Heathers were in here. Heather's awesome. Heather E., thank you for coming in. Southern Gal, you're awesome. Thank you so much for all your hard work. And, you're just great. Heather, Southern Gal's awesome. Heather's awesome too. Kathy, yes, thank you for coming in. Always good to have you here. FarQ, you're awesome. Thank you for coming in. Anybody that wants a wrench, let me know. Here come the wrench throwing again. Miracle Hearts, you're great. Thank you so much for coming in. Dandy Lioness was in here. Dandy's great. Who else was in here? I know Dean was in here. I'm thinking about him. Hopefully he's Dean's great. Let's just hope he's okay. Necessarily Evil was in here. Necessarily Evil's great. Thank you, buddy. I'll probably see you on Curious Contrarians. Gail Hurd was in here. Gail Hurd's awesome. Thank you, Gail. This was in here. Paula was in here. Paula's great. Thank you for coming in, Paula. She's probably asleep by now. Miranda Lee was in here. Miranda's awesome. We're thinking about you, Miranda, for sure. I'll probably see you before next Saturday, next weekend. Who else was in here? I'd like to shout out everybody that came in. If I miss anybody, I'm sorry. Let's see here. I think that's it. There's got to be more. But like I said, if I miss anybody, I'm sorry. I haven't seen Barbara for a while. Hope she's okay. Big Fish was in here. Big Fish is awesome. Thank you for coming in, Big Fish. Hopefully Dean's okay. Jenny was in here. Jenny, thank you for coming in. Surprised I didn't give her a wrench. Why didn't I give her a wrench? Does she not want a wrench? Is that what she said? I thought I gave her a wrench. Anyways, all right, I'm going to get out of here. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. But it's probably a senior moment. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate all the support. You guys are great. Everybody have a safe weekend. Hopefully everybody stays safe and has a great weekend. And I will see you guys all later. Thank you very much for coming in. I'll play my outro or intro, whatever the hell that is, and get out of here. Stay safe. Good night, guys.